acuity of need, and also where and how we might develop and deliver solutions, including in partnership with the Commonwealth. And the Make Every Drop Count campaign is another really important example. How do we reduce our consumption? How do we conserve what we have? How do we augment supply? And how do we plan for the future? These are all of the questions that guide integrated water management, good stewardship, and that overarching plan that involves all levels of government, CMAs, water corporations, DECA obviously, and the work of policy direction.
And greater public awareness.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you. We're going to the Deputy Chair.
Thank you, Chair, Minister and officials. Minister, can I take you to page 63 of Budget Paper 5, please? Minister, can we establish for our viewing audience that water authorities sit within what we call the public non-financial corporation sector?
Yes.
And can you see there in the net debt figure, table 2.2 at the bottom of the page, the revised figure for net debt of the public non-financial corporation sector, which comprises, for the most part, water authorities. Net debt for this current financial year is $30.1 billion, and it increases steadily to the estimate in 2030 of net debt for the public non-financial corporation sector of nearly $50 billion. Ooh. Minister, I put it to you that, particularly in light of your comments before about debt, that represents nearly a 70% increase in net debt across the water sector and other entities within the PNFC in 4 years. Can you please tell Victorians who pays for that debt and who pays for the interest on that debt? If not, Victorians and in particular, water customers.
So, Mr Pizzuto, I might take this opportunity to talk you through the way in which dividends and capital repatriation...
I haven't come to dividends yet, I will.
Yeah, no,
but I just want to know about debt.
I'm wanting to perhaps...
You talked about debt and water authorities taking on debt, okay.
Answer the question.
But I'm trying to establish for Victorians that that has to be paid for. Who pays for it?
So this is where long-term investment is something which we address, as I indicated in my answer to Mr Galea, a smoothing of the cost of capital so that we share that across all customers.
It's not a smoothing, Minister, it's an explosion in debt. That increase in debt across the water sector is nearly three times or more the rate of increase in the growth of debt in the general government sector. It's 3 times badder than it is in the general government sector. Don't you have concerns that this level of debt is going to have a number of effects, including higher water prices in the future and less investment in infrastructure, because the burdens of that debt are enormous?
Mr Pizzuto, debt has a really important role to play in enabling water corporations to finance that long-term investment in infrastructure that they rely upon, that we rely upon. The work that we are doing to ensure that we have adequate infrastructure, that we have adequate supply, goes to all of the things that I've just discussed in answers to previous questions. When we talk about water prices, and I want to be very, very clear about this, I want to ensure that you are aware that the Essential Services Commission sets prices for water. It is not done by water corporations. The work of dividends, capital repatriation and water pricing is not something that impacts upon or results in increases to customers' bills.
How can it not?
Because they are set independently by the Essential Services.
Of our water authority.
It's set by the Essential Services Commission, Mr Pizzuto.
Is there a money tree we don't know about somewhere in the state of Victoria, Minister? Because how do you pay for this? If not through higher bills and poorer infrastructure.
Deputy Chair, the Minister's answering you quite clearly.
So, Mr Pizzuto, Melbourne's water bills, and again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they are lower than any other Australian capital city.
For how much longer?
Melbourne's water bills are $124 below Canberra,
but interstate water authorities don't have
this
kind of debt profile, Minister. Water authorities, though. No, it's not, but it's the most part. Other states don't have water authorities that are so badly leveraged as to have nearly $50 billion in net debt within 4 years.
I'm going to take that as an expression of opinion, Mr. Pursuto. So the Essential Services Commission, as I've just outlined, sets water prices by reference to a range of criteria. It sets prices to recover the cost of investments, but it also takes the cost of finance into account. In setting those water prices, as the ESC has determined, those levels continue to be the lowest water prices of any capital city in Australia.
Paying for this then?
Now, that then ensures that we have an appropriate balance struck between the bills that customers receive, affordability and service delivery, and then also financial sustainability. When future customers get the benefit of the investments in infrastructure that are being made now, that is also reflected in the cost of finance and what that looks like for delivery of that infrastructure. Now, as a further safeguard, the Department of Treasury and Finance also sets a limit on how much a water corporation can borrow in a financial year, as you would be aware, which generally aligns with that forecast view of capital expenditure in the course of that year.
Thank you, Minister. Can I just ask, given the earlier discussion with Ms Benham and your presentation, can you rule out for Victorians any scenario in the next 12 months or in the 12 months following where any existing water restrictions will be tightened or any other water restrictions introduced? Can you assure Victorians there won't be any need for any decisions on that front?
You're asking me, Mr. Pursuto, to forecast the weather.
No, have you had any advice? On the advice you've received, obviously, can you say
for a guarantee
that there will be no change to the current settings around water restrictions?
What I would say, Mr. Pursuto, is because of our interventions, because of the largest possible order being placed from the desalination plant,